Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I start the explanation, let me introduce myself. My name is Rebisa Rahidayat from A3 2019, and now I will start to explain about basic concepts of English for specific purposes, compiled by Wahyu Sundayana. So, what is ESP? ESP in brief is the use of a particular variety of English in a specific context of use and justified by learners' needs. So ESP is the use of English for a variety of fields or purposes, and this variation have different use according to the learner's needs. And what is the scope of ESP, especially in teaching English? ESP is a sphere is a sphere of teaching English language, including business English, technical English, scientific English, English for medical professional, English for waiters, English for tourism, and English for art purposes, and etc. So what distinguishes ESP in the branch of English, especially in education? It is the learner's needs. Jadi, apa sih yang membedakan ESP ini dengan pelajaran bahasa Inggris yang lain? Perbedaannya di sini adalah tujuannya, yaitu tujuan dari, maksud saya, kebutuhan dari si pelajar. Next, ESP requires analyzing language that is required in the area or profession. So, ESP requires analyzing language needed according to its field or purposes. Selanjutnya, conducting students need analysis, melakukan analisis kebutuhan dari pelajar. Karena ESP sendiri itu bakalan pastinya mendalami sebuah bisa jadi sebuah seperti misalkan English for business, maka si ESP untuk bisnis itu harus melakukan analisis dulu apa saja sih yang dibutuhkan sama students yang belajar English ini. Kemudian conducting interview with subject matter specialist in the area. Maksudnya karena ini tuh kan untuk teaching ya, especially ESP itu untuk teaching, jadi harus dari ahlinya gitu. Kita nggak bisa sembarangan cari-cari referensi, tapi kita harus melakukan interview with subject matter specialist. Next definition. ESP courses are those where the syllabus and materials are determined in all essentials by the prior analysis of the communication needs of the learner. Page 2 by Manby on 1978. Next, according to Robinson in 1980, has defined it as the teaching of English to the learners who have specific goals and purposes. According to him, these goals might be professional, academic, scientific, etc. And according to McKay and Mountford on 1978, on page 2, have referred to it as the teaching of English for clearly utilitarian purposes. And these specific purposes are academic, professional, or scientific ones that clearly depend on the learner's need. Next, according to Dudley, Evans, T. and Estejon MJ, CF 1998, over a modified definition and express their revised view on the essence of ESP from two perspectives, absolute characteristic and variable characteristic. Characteristic of ESP. Absolute characteristic. One, ESP is defined to meet specific needs of the learners. So it means ESP is what ESP is created for learners who have special or specific English needs. For example, a vocational school. Second, ESP makes us of underlying methodology and activities of the discipline itself. It means ESP makes use of the methods or sciences used to find the truth using searches in a certain manner. ESP is centered on the language appropriate to these activities in terms of grammar, lexis, register, study skills, and discourse. It means ESP is not just about learning vocabulary about or related to the specific activities or specific purposes, but involve grammar, lexis, register, study skills, and discourse. Next, about variable characteristics. One may be related to or designed for specific disciplines. It means ESP was created to explore the knowledge that we are studying, such as English for nurses. So we should focus on exploring English that relate with nursing. And may use in specific teaching situation a different methodology from that of general English. ESP is not general English. Uh, ESP is not the general English in primary or junior high school level, but it is used in certain teaching situations, such as adult learners or profession or working adult, and likely to be assigned for adult learners. ESP is made and needed by adult learners because for junior high school and primary or senior high school, they learn about general English. And for adult learners of working adult or in vocational school, they will learn more in subjects that are accordance with the profession or majors they take in the college or vocational school or in their work. Next, ESP and GE distinction. So, what is GE? GE is General English. Jadi apa perbedaan dari ESP dan juga GE ini? Yang pertama, dari learners-nya atau pelajarnya. ESP ini dia tujuan learners-nya itu ya ke working adults atau ke vocational school gitu, student yang belajarnya di vocational. So, ESP especially designed for working adult, and working has many kinds of job. Has many kinds of varieties. So ESP designed appropriate courses for various groups of learners according to their needs. Next, about EGP. EGP especially designed for high school student or primary, as I said before, because I think this is about the basic ya. Jadi di sini kita di general English tuh ya kita belajar basic-basic dari bahasa Inggris itu sendiri, seperti contohnya vocab, grammar, pronunciation, language function. Sebetulnya maybe di ESP pun they learn about vocabulary, but in general English the vocab maybe can be in general English, not in a specific vocabulary gitu. Next, aims atau tujuan. Kalau ESP itu tujuannya to meet the needs of particular learners, untuk memenuhi kebutuhan dari pelajar tertentu, khususnya di SMK atau mungkin working adult. EGP aims-nya itu to improve overall English competence involving a range of skills, reading, writing, speaking, listening, vocab, grammar, pronunciation, and etc. Jadi ini lebih ke general gitu, ke reading, writing, speaking. Nah, mungkin kalau misalkan di ESP-nya sendiri nih, untuk speaking-nya, di EGP kita belajar speaking for general gitu, how to offering something, how to ignore something gitu ya. Tapi kalau di ESP ini mungkin kita belajar speaking untuk how to serve, how to serve customer in hotel atau yang lainnya gitu. Comparison of EGP and ESP. The first, EGP. The focus is often on education. Jadi fokusnya tuh ya dalam pendidikan karena biasanya EGP ini digunakan di senior high school, primary, or junior high school. Karena sifatnya lebih ke basic ya kalau EGP itu. Kemudian yang kedua, as the learner's future needs are impossible to predict, so the course content is more difficult to select. Jadi karena kebutuhannya itu karena kebutuhan untuk belajar di masa depannya tuh impossible untuk kita predict ke depannya, maka si isi dari course-nya ini tuh akan lebih sulit untuk dipilih gitu. The third, due to the above point, it is important for the content in the syllabus to have high surrender value. Next, about ESP, the focus is on training. In vocational school or working adult, pastinya they need more training. Maybe that's what they need gitu ya. Training gitu. Kalau misalkan, apalagi khususnya di vocational school. Second, as English is intended to be used in specific vocational context, the selection of the appropriate context is easier. Nah, karena kalau misalkan di sini tuh intended to be used in specific vocational context, jadi udah ada konteksnya gitu. Tujuannya tuh ya kita harus tahunya ini, harus belajarnya tuh ini, maka selection untuk isi yang lebih appropriate, yang lebih cocoknya itu bakalan lebih mudah, easier. Kemudian yang ketiga, it is important for the content in the syllabus to have high surrender value and most relevant to the vocational context. The aim may be to create a restricted English competence. Next, ESP family tree. So I think this is kind of branch of ESP. So ESP divided into two branches, EOP and EAP. So what is EOP? EOP is English for occupational purposes, while EAP is English for academic purposes. English for occupational purposes have two branches here. There are English for business purposes and EMP, English for medical purposes. While in EAP, it has English for science and technology purposes. Next, historical development of ESP. There are three main reasons to the emergence of ESP. Jadi ada tiga alasan utama kenapa adanya dibentuknya ESP. First, demands of the world after World War II. Expansion in science and technology. Jadi ini tuh kayak perluasan atau mungkin salah satunya perkembangan ya, development of science and technology, so they need English for it. English became the language of technology and commerce and research. Why? Because in that time English became international language. So in commerce or untuk pengiklanannya pun gitu mereka harus menggunakan teknologi. Dalam perdagangan mereka melakukan pembicaraan pun menggunakan bahasa Inggris gitu. So they apa ya? They started to uh, learn English because of this reason. They need in technology, in commerce, and research. This created a demand for a generation of learners who needed the language for the specific purposes of technology and commerce. Jadi karena tuntutan dari sebuah generasi pelajar yang membutuhkan bahasa untuk tujuan spesifiknya mereka, khususnya dalam teknologi dan juga perdagangan gitu. Mereka tuh karena English to become international language, mereka jadi pengen belajar. Si learners ini tuh need-nya itu ya untuk teknologi and commerce gitu. Makanya dibuatlah gitu, di-create lah si ESP, EBP ini gitu, dan juga IST, salah satu branch-nya dalam ISP ini. Next, the constraints of time and money created a need for cost-effective courses. Jadi karena keterbatasan waktu dan juga uang, dibentuklah courses yang efektif dan juga murah gitu. Karena dengan ISP ini kita bakalan fokus ke need-nya si learner ini itu apa. Dibandingkan kita belajar semua yang ada di sini kita pelajarin, tapi yang kita butuh cuman teknologi sama commerce-nya aja gitu, si English-nya tuh. Pasti akan lebih membuang-buang waktu. Makanya dengan keterbatasan ini tuh ya lebih memudahkan lah. Yang kedua, main reason-nya yaitu a revolution in linguistic. Shifted a focus from grammar to communication. Nah, from grammar they like increase their skill ya. Mereka awalnya belajar grammar dulu. Kemudian karena tujuannya itu mereka kan untuk periklanan, untuk commerce, untuk perdagangan juga, untuk teknologi gitu. They need communicate each other. Maka mereka butuh komunikasi. So, shifted a focus from grammar to communication. Realization of language variation from context to context. Hence, differences in English for commerce and English for engineering. As language varies from situation to situation, it should be possible to determine the features of specific situations, making them the basis of the learner's courses. Last, a rise in expansion of research in English for science and technology and English for businesses. Jadi terjadi perluasan gitu, terjadi perkembangan, makanya terjadi perluasan dari si penelitian bahasa Inggris untuk sains, untuk teknologi, dan juga untuk bisnis. Makanya ISP ini berevolusi dalam segi linguistiknya. Yang ketiga, development in educational psychology. Focus on student-centered learning. Yang kedua, learners are seen to have different needs and interests which have an influence on their motivation to learn and therefore on the effectiveness of their learning. Jadi pelajar tuh dilihat atau apa ya bahasanya? Jadi mereka tuh dilihat gitu punya kebutuhan dan juga ketertarikan yang berbeda yang bisa mempengaruhi motivasi untuk belajar. Nah, oleh karena itu, therefore on the effectiveness of their learning. Next, the standard way of achieving this was to take text from the learner's specific area of study or work. The assumption is that the relevance of the English course to their needs will improve the learner's motivation and make learning better and faster. Nah, asumsi dari relevance English course to their needs itu bakalan improve motivasi dan juga membuat si pelajar ini tuh belajarnya semakin baik dan juga lebih cepat, gitu, semakin cepat. The growth of ESP was due to the expansion of demand for English to suit particular need. Nah, seperti yang udah dijelasin tadi, karena perluasan tuntutan mulai dari they need technology, commerce, research. Jadi mau tidak mau ada di sini tuh ada demand for English to suit particular need untuk apa ya kebutuhan yang kebutuhan tertentu gitu. Kemudian development in the field of linguistics, development in the field educational psychology, and all three factors pointed to the need for specialization in learning English. Okay, I think enough the explanation from me about the basic of ESP, basic concept of ESP. Thank you for watching. Mohon maaf bila ada kekurangan dan juga kesalahan. Bila taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.